Martinez with another one. Man's man of the match, it's a matter of facts. Maguire ain't coming on. Brazilian swag in the team has me forgetting where I'm coming from. I love Afrobeats, but these South Americans got me bagging reggaeton. What? Martinez with another one. Man's man of the match, it's a matter of facts. Maguire ain't coming on. Brazilian swag in the team has me forgetting where I'm coming from. I love Afrobeats, but these South Americans got me banging reggaeton. Obrigado, obrigado, Casemiro, you're my newfound hero. How you gonna have 5 Champions League and still wanna come and play here though? Some people say that you came for the peas, but I ain't really trying to hear though. I said some people say that you came for the peas, but I ain't really trying to hear though. What? Yo, this is the OT99 Banter, where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, we're back again with another show. It's your boy Therms, and I'm joined today by NK. And look, I don't know where Edwin is at the minute. If he pops around later, we'll see. I don't know, man. Look, we got a win, so I'm expecting to see him soon. But if he doesn't, brief you later. But guys, I said guys, NK, look, today was another gritty one, man. It was another gritty game. And we half expected this, to be honest, because we knew it wasn't going to be an open game like Liverpool. We knew that Southampton was going to do a bit of a low block. We knew that they wasn't going to give us as much space. And we saw that in today's game against Southampton. But we also know that Southampton's a team that's got strength, physicality, pace. Che Adams is a brute. And it was interesting to see how our players, our new signings in particular, stand up against that strength now. Just in my opinion, last season, if we played this type of game, I think we're losing. We're losing that game, or we're at least drawing that game. We're conceding a late one. But what I saw today was a lot of grit. But what was your thoughts on today's game, man?
Yeah, you know what? It just, I'm happy with the 3 points. I'm happy with the 3 points. On a day like this where you don't play well, you want to run away with the 3 points and then just go back, sit down, and just look at what went wrong. I'd rather be talking about getting a bad performance with 3 points than a bad performance with no points at all. So yes, I would take that. After the Liverpool game, we always kind of like ask, can they do it against the Southampton? And in a way, I don't know whether to say yes, they were able to do it, or no, they were not able to do it, because at the end of the day, they won the game, which was what we wanted in the first place too. But performance-wise, we still
Edwin's
have
arriving.
a long... Performance-wise, sorry?
I said Edwin's arriving. Yeah.
Performance-wise, we got a long way to go. Performance-wise, we got a long way to go, man.
By the way, like your settings, like what are you getting chauffeured or something? What's all this, bro?
What?
You're in a whip in the back, chilling.
Wow, I'm on a beach. You see how much I love you, yeah? I have to leave the beach, yeah? Come here and do this. That's how much I love you, man. We're doing overtime out here, bro.
This guy, bro. Oh my days. Look. You know what, yeah? I hear what you're saying. I feel like this game was a gritty one. Oi, man, like Edwin. What's good? What happened? Where were you, bro?
No, I'm here.
He was trying to ditch us because he thought it was a loss today, and then he realized that we won, man.
Man literally just checked scores now, and then literally jumped on because he saw the W. Look, Edwin, how you feeling, man?
3 points. Not a good performance, though. Let's be honest. I think the problem. I was thinking, okay, we beat Liverpool, we played well, right? And I thought, okay, the key is consistency. But I saw the same, where Man United will give you one good game, then they'll go back. Because even when the game started, first 10 minutes, I'm like, this ain't got the intensity of the Liverpool game. We looked like we were just sitting. We actually looked like we came there to get a 1-0 or a draw, which we got the 1-0, but we didn't look like, at least the Liverpool game, we were like, boom, boom, boom. We were proactive, even when we weren't in possession. So even though we won, I wanted to see more of what I saw earlier in the week, just to have that more confidence. But look, 3 points, but there's so much work we need to do.
I knew that was going to be a unique game with Liverpool, man, because of just the situation, just all things just aligned in terms of it being a derby, the protest as well, and Casemiro coming in. I just knew that it was going to be a different type of game. We flipped the formation a little bit, brought in new players. Everything just looked right. Now, with Southampton, I feel like a lot of our games are going to be like this, where we're going to have to grind out games.
I have to give a shout out to even with Man U, though, because even though we didn't play as well, to beat Liverpool like we did, and to see what they done to their team today, just like wow, you know what I mean? That we're all able to contain them because they don't want to riot today.
9-0. They took out all their anger, bro. All their anger on board. They're fuming. Look, what's your thoughts on the lineup? Look, so obviously Erik ten Hag kept the lineup the same. Cristiano Ronaldo was on bench. Maguire was on bench. Shaw was on bench. That is a massive statement. I've been going offline, back and forth with NK about like, you know, Maguire still going to be maintaining his spot. Shaw, Ronaldo especially. And obviously he's benched them again. So he's trying to say, do you know what? I ain't touching this team that's worked. They worked. I ain't breaking up this team. What's your thoughts on his actions with benching these guys? Do you feel like he's respected?
He was right in playing the same team because they played well together. But my only change was, I think me and NK said this, was to maybe take McTominay out and Elanga, because I don't know, maybe I don't see it right, but the commentators were like, yeah, Elanga's, you know, was a threat. But when I like purposely watched Elanga because I do like him, but I just don't want to be too harsh. So I watched him today and I'm like, number one, even though he runs, he doesn't beat players. Like you know what I mean? He does, like, he's like, he always gets stopped by the first play. He dives a lot. Not dives, but he's quite weak on the ball. And his decision making and his position is not the best either. So that's why I made a comment that maybe let him go out on loan and just have the freedom without the pressure. But I think the starting lineup wasn't a surprise because we won. But those are the two changes. I would have just played Casemiro because he's always about the fitness. But Casemiro just played the Super Cup. You know what I mean? He's been playing games. So I would have just put him in and maybe taken Elanga out and play Ronaldo. But the way things are looking, it looks like Ronaldo might leave because I don't see the reason why he's benching him.
You know what? That's a good point. You know what? On the Elanga tip, though, I feel like you're right in terms of Elanga, your assessment of him. I feel like he's direct, and they're commenting on him being direct, but he doesn't tend to beat his first man, and he doesn't have the ability to like dribble or have that little bit of flair where he can beat a guy. He likes to like knock it past the guy and just run. It's very Dan James-esque, and he doesn't have the X factor about him. So, but NK, look, obviously on that question I asked about the lineup. Do you see, you know, we've got Leicester coming up, right? Our next game's Leicester. I feel like in 3 days later, we've got who? We've got, who's on next game?
Arsenal.
We've got Arsenal. 3 days later. Then after that, a few days later again, it's like Europa League starts kicking off on all of these things as well. Like, I feel like...
You've got Europa League on Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, not this fair. Not this fair. Europa League starts in September. 8th of September.
Let me just double check.
September. We got Leicester on Thursday, Arsenal on Sunday.
We got Leicester on Thursday. Okay, we got Leicester on Thursday.
Leicester on Thursday, Arsenal on Sunday.
Arsenal
you must need to keep up, man. Keep up.
I know. But we got Europa. So Arsenal, is on the 9th, isn't it? So it's the 4th of September is Arsenal. Leicester's the 1st of September. Then on the 8th of September, we've got Real Sociedad. So it's not too many days between that. 4 days between that Arsenal game and Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, we've got Palace. And then another what's that? 12, 13, 14. 4 days later, we got Europa League again. Like, it's just, and then 3 days later, it's just back to back. So it's like 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, 4 days. And obviously, we've been happy, and I feel like we've been secure in the way we're feeling about the defense now. It's looking like a unit. What do you think Erik ten Hag is gonna do, NK, in terms of this upcoming fixtures? Do you feel like he's gonna stick with it and just be like, you know what, or is he gonna rotate and start to bring in and integrate your Shaws, your Maguires, etc., your Ronaldos even?
You know, with the lineup today, I think maybe Casemiro could have come in from McTominay, but McTominay's performance was very good today. You know, he proved why he stayed into the team. You know,
I think so. I think he was all right, you know, Edwin. I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was all right today. He was all right today. I feel like, to be honest with you, today, in terms of like they tried to do the high train, he was there to kind of like help deal with a lot of like the balls that they put into the box. But I don't see him making a lot of changes in the next 2 games. I really don't. I think the back five will be the same for the next 2 games, and then they'll probably get rotated for the Europa League games. I think against both Arsenal and Leicester, I think he will go with the same back five. Definitely, I'll be surprised if he changed the back five too. Leicester is when maybe as if Casemiro coming in there, everything is looking a bit leggy. You know, he seems to be fading off in the game in the second half too. So, but at the same time, we need a bit of his creativity too. So, it will be interesting to see what he does on that day. I won't be surprised if he actually just pull what do you call it? Casemiro, McTominay, and Eriksen there, and then probably like push Bruno more as a striker, and then Rashford go back on what do you call it on the left again. Because even though today he plays a striker today, I don't know. To me, it reminds me about the same thing about the Liverpool performance. Didn't really do nothing great, man. You know, he looked more comfortable when he went on the left hand side. Looked more comfortable when he went on the left side. So, but in terms of our changes, I don't think so. Look, Maguire, sure, yeah. Or even any of the defenders there, man, it is looking long for them, because I think if one thing that you can say is that right now, the back four is settled back, man. It's actually settled, man.
Do you know what, yeah? Back in the days, going back to Fergie days, he always made sure that his back line was certified. He always looked to get the best centre-backs, the best full-backs. Do you know what I mean? Your Garys, your Phils, your Rio Ferdinands. Even Dennis Irwin, he wasn't fancy and flary, but he did his thing. Do you know what I mean? You had the Silver Twins, and you had all of these guys that's coming over the years, you know, dating back from your Yapstams all the way to present. And what I'm seeing now is finally Manchester United's got a back line where I can have a bit of faith in. Like Delo, he's becoming a bit more consistent now. He's becoming a bit more aggressive now. He's becoming a bit more like reliable. And I feel like he's looking at Malacia, he's looking at Martinez. And I think that spirit, that hunger, that fight is leaking over to my man. And obviously Varane is moving. He's purring. Varane is purring. Like, he's doing what he's doing so subtly, so calmly. His aerial ability. You know, it's funny because I saw a stat and it was on Martinez. And it was saying, Martinez won all of his ground duels. Do you know what I mean? Like, and everyone's comparing, like, cussing Martinez, saying, you know, he's crap in the air, but he's winning all of his ground duels. And then you look at Varane, and when I was watching the match in Varane's winning his aerial duels. And what I see is them two doing is complementing each other, where Martinez is going on the ground doing the whole doggy work, grease, like the Rolls Royce is just kicking back, saying, you know what, you do your thing. I'm going to show you how to sweep. This is what Lindelof and Maguire don't do well together. And what I see Varane and what I see Martinez doing is working in tandem. So they basically what they're doing is, it's like Varane has identified Martinez's flaws, if people say it's a flaw, because he's really good in the air, and taking care of that, and vice versa. Like, in terms of going in and doing the hard work, we don't want Varane getting injured. We don't want him jumping in like that. He's still trying to keep fit. So Martinez is doing that. But
you know what? One thing that's so beautiful too is kind of like the communication that Varane brings to the back. There was a time where Martinez literally he kind of like lacked concentration, so the ball kind of like just went there, and then he shoot away. He went there to encourage him, like, you know what, come on, you know. And sometimes you need that from your leaders, man. And I think that's why as fans we used to question Maguire too much, because we hardly used to see him like whether encouraging the defenders or even encouraging anybody on the pitch too, and even communicating with them too. So it's very good to see all of them kind of like communicating with each other, high-fiving each other, and like literally just like pushing each other on, man. That's very, very good. But man, I like the relationship that they are all building together.
Yeah,
Edwin.
I think I second that, because, like you say, this is not even to get onto Maguire, yeah, but it's just analysis, right? Like you say, I've never seen that whole high five thing and like them encouraging him. I've never seen him at the back, because what I see Maguire doing when a goal goes in, he'll look to the linesman, then he'll just kind of like be like, what's going on? But like you say, you never see him encouraging, saying, let's go. So what we're seeing now is that there's trust between Varane and Martinez, no matter if something goes wrong, like you said. But I think the scary thing is that when you bring Maguire in, I think there's there's that lack of faith, and there's no cohesion, because like with Varane, we know he plays a certain way and he complements Martinez, but we've seen Maguire paired up with so many defenders and it just doesn't work. And they always say this, they're always like, we've got to find a defender to get the best out of Maguire. It's not that. You just have to be honest that Maguire doesn't fit into the system with the way that the defense goes. But like you say, for the first time in a long time, I actually trust. And I even think, even if you bring Lindelof, he probably will fit in with them too as well. Like if you replace like You know what I mean? So
Do you know what's
we'll
good?
see. But obviously, Maguire will play because of the amount of back-to-back games. He's going to play maybe next game or the game after. He'll be there.
It's scary, man. It's scary, you know, because
He'll play rubber games. That's it, but he ain't seen pitch on Premiership, but man, unless there's injury, but I promise you lost this, but man.
Do you know what's?
I hope this inspires him though, because you know sometimes you can get comfortable. Now I know it won't, but you know sometimes players get comfortable. Like he was in a percent. I'm the captain. They're not going to replace me. I really hope, even though we know that, you know, he can't play any better than he does. Really, I hope this does give him the drive, because you could tell he was too comfortable in his position. I'm the captain. They ain't dropping me. The amount they spent. So hopefully this gives him that, bro, you got to fight. Like it's not guaranteed. So
do you know the important thing about how we're playing is, like, obviously we lacked creativity in my opinion, in terms of, like, you know, in this game it was another low block team. We always struggled, and in my mind I'm thinking, you know, we've got the creative king Bruno, and then we've got Eriksen, but we still couldn't break this teams down. You know what I mean? And we got Rashford. He was missing in most of, like, the game. He was missing first half, especially. I didn't see him at all. And then you had Sancho again. Like, he was quiet. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was doing his thing here and there, but it was quiet. Most parts, no one was really shining. And that was worrying me, man, because I'm just like, you know what? Like, Bruno and Eriksen can't get the most. Like, Scott McTominay is doing his thing. Bruno and Eriksen didn't really have much to worry about, like, in terms of having to come back and support and whatever. Like, they almost basically had their freedom to, if they wanted to do what they're doing now, because their defense is tight. But yet again, we didn't see that creative spark until the last minute from Bruno. Not the last minute, but late in the game from Bruno. You know what I mean? That nice little passing from, you know what I mean? And then Bruno's in the end of the cross from the low, and then he knocks it in. Now, why I'm saying that is, I was questioning, like, we're all questioning Bruno's, like, ability in this, is whether he fits the system. Do you think that Bruno Fernandes will still maintain his spot going forward, or do you feel like his time's coming into end at Manchester United?
I think he will.
See, here's the thing. I don't know. Bruno is this kind of, like, very special player that a lot of, like, to me personally, I feel like in order to get the best out of him, we need to change so many things to accommodate him in that team. You know, I watched City today, I watched Arsenal today, and their number 10 are just playmakers where they make the team tick. You know, they make the team tick. Bruno, I don't know, the way he plays, I feel like he worries too much about his GA, his goal and his assists. You know, he's always on a rush to kind of, like, play the final balls. Look, off the ball, he works hard for the team. You can never question him that. But it's just on the ball. Today, at times where Southampton had the ball, when we had the ball, it's like he wanted to rush it so much, where I'm thinking, like, look, don't do that, man. The manager keep on saying it. Sometimes just make the extra pass, you know? He's not doing that. To me, he's just not doing that. And the longer he keep on playing like that, he will play himself out of the team. But, man, today, for example, look, if it wasn't his goal, you'll be sitting here thinking, like, about another poor performance. But because he scored a goal, everybody's gonna say, you know what, Bruno got a goal, but, man. But if you sit down, you watch the game back, you just see that on the ball in possession, he is still very bad. And I question how him and Eriksen work together in the same team, because I feel like Eriksen want to be in the positions that Bruno is, and to me, I feel like Eriksen will be much better there than where Bruno is. But it's just up to the manager. We will see, like, how this will play out, man. We will see how this will play out. But
I think we're going to see different. I think we're going to see different combinations going forward because of the fact that we've got so many games coming up. So we're going to see different balances. I was even thinking a combination that we could have done is potentially go with two DMs. I know Casemiro is a G5-time, you know, Champions League winner, and he can probably hold down that defensive midfield position by himself. But I still feel like Malacia is getting that instruction to be that inverted winger, tucking into the midfield. Because, look, I'm seeing Malacia shine defensively, shine. Do you know what I mean? But I ain't really seeing much of him offensively. I know that he got that one assist. I can't remember if it was a pre-season game or not, if it was a proper game. I can't even remember now when he got that, he whipped in that cross, do you know what I mean? And then we ended up getting a...
He passed it to Delon, and then Delon got the assist from that one.
I don't even know if that was a Prem game or not. I can't remember, but I think it might have been a pre-season. I don't know, but he whipped in a cross. Do you know what I mean? And we got a goal from that. And I ain't really seen that much from Malacia. Like, I ain't really seeing him do enough. I'm seeing Delo bomb up and down and do his thing, but not from Malacia. So what do you think we need to do? Because I'm thinking, like, if we have like the 2 defensive midfielders, it would free up Malacia. It would free up Delo to be doing the overlaps, to be whipping in crosses. Because sometimes if the creativity is dead, we're gonna have to be whipping in balls. You know, bring on Ronaldo, whipping in balls, man, and let him get on the end of it with the header, man. Like, we need to adapt somehow, man. What do you think of it anyway, Edwin?
I think centre midfield, yeah, I really do. I know Bruno, like, even Scholes said this, like, Bruno scored, but he didn't play well. He gave the ball away a lot. And like you say, what NK said, I think Eriksen will be more effective in the positions, but Bruno takes up those spaces, right? I actually think, this might be crazy, I think our strongest midfield that will be most effective will be Casemiro, Van der Beek, and Eriksen. The reason I say that is because the way Ten Hag likes to play is keep it simple but keep possession, and they don't try and do the most. With Bruno, he'll try and do the most. Like, example, like, the goalkeeper's part, like, off his line, you go and boot it and the ball doesn't even leave the ground that high. Like, giving the ball away in them situations. Balls. I think Van der Beek is neat. He would do what he got to do. Like, we've seen Eriksen play well, and Casemiro will just sit. And I think Casemiro he's more effective when he's around players that are good holding the ball, and that's why he was so good at Real Madrid. You had Modric and Kroos. I know we haven't got players on their levels, but at least with Van der Beek, how often do you see him giving away the ball?
NK, do you feel like do you feel like we need a ball progressor? Because, like, on what Edwin said, right, in that midfield, obviously in Real Madrid, Modric was that ball progressor. He was just like, he was an artist with the ball. He carried that ball, he progressed it. Kroos was there doing a nice passes. He's so assured in himself. And then you had Casemiro sweeping. With that formation, or that lineup that Edwin said in the midfield with Donny van de Beek, he likes to do the nice simple touches and stuff. But then you've got next to him Eriksen, who's a passer of the ball, can find a pass, but he's not a progressive passer. We saw Casemiro today do a few penetrative passes, but again, he's not one to carry the ball and advance it forward. Do you feel like that formation can work, or do you feel like we need a De Jong type player still in this team?
It will work to a bit, but it will on paper it will be the best thing there for us right now. But I don't see it being able to control that much games, you know. I think the manager, reality-wise, he want to play Casemiro as the lone 6 and then have the 2-8, you know, where one of them keep it very simple and then one of them be the one that kind of like have that free where they can come collective from the back and carry the ball and everything. But he's missing that type of like player, you know. He is really, really missing that. He's trying to get Eriksen to do that, but Eriksen cannot do that from deep, you know. He's a bit effective, but not too much effective too. So I worry if he doesn't get another midfielder in the transfer window. To me, the best scenario will probably be Casemiro and Fred. And then with Anthony and Sancho coming, you can probably allow those 2 wingers to be like your crazy players and then add the fullbacks away where you push them forward too. But he lost trust in Fred, man. Even I lost trust in Fred, but man, I don't think Fred is a guy no more too. So I don't know what kind of like combination they will put up to. I would love to see a Donny kind of like click in to become like a glue, but we still miss that kind of like ball carrier there, but man, we still do, but man. So you can sit here like and just try to play that midfield in order to get them right. A lot of things on the other side on the wings and fullbacks need to move around so much to kind of like get it right, but man, I worry about us between now and then, but
you know, I worry about I'm worried about in case the fact of when you talk about Van der Beek and Eriksen, they ain't got that still. Like us, you saw Scott McTominay today getting rough and rugged with these Southampton players, getting like, you know, dragging guys down and, do you know what I mean? Like winning those aerial duels, sitting back, you know, as part of the centre back pairing, when you know, set pieces. When you look at someone like Van der Beek and Eriksen, they're guys that like to get back. They like to be there and around, but they like to maybe try and cut off some passing lanes. But they're never really going to be the one that will be aggressive. So it's putting a lot of strain on Casemiro. Now, not to say Casemiro can't do this, because he can. He can do his job. We've seen him do it at Real Madrid, and obviously you've got Malacia and Martinez. But it just feels like I just feel more assured when we've got someone there like Scott McTominay or Fred that can cover ground, that is physical. Oh, NK's gone. That is cover ground, that's physical, that can put in a shift. So my thing is just like, again, like we tried to do this total football thing, possession-based football, but it's not really working out for us. I think what is working out for us is us being, that togetherness, that physicality is working out for us. And you know what? When you've got a team, where you've got a solid defense, you can always go on to nick and smash and grab a game. And what we did today was smash and grab. We clearly just smashed and grabbed, you know what I mean? We fought through. Yeah, we dominated small parts of the game, but then we also rolled our luck a little bit, do you know what I mean? And I feel like, yeah, man, the defense is why we're here saying that we've got 2 wins back to back. I feel it hasn't been like that in a long time.
But you know what? After watching this game, we actually need a winger. We actually need a fast, like even if it's Gakpo or Anthony, we need one of them because we need someone that will just cause trouble. You know what I mean? Like we don't have someone that just, when you've got someone up front that just causes so much riot.
That's what I want with Maximin. That's what I want with Maximin. I know we're getting Anthony, and Anthony can probably do that, but that's what I want with Saint Maximin. Do you know what it is, yeah? It's just like, when I look at Sancho, for example, he's a guy that's got all the skill in the world. He can beat guys like very slow motion. You see him, you know what I mean? You have 2-3 guys around him, do a little quick shuffle, he'll beat a guy. But a lot of the time when I watch Sancho, it's like he's always slowing down the ball. He's looking for that overlap. He's always, it's got that greyish feel to it. Do you know what I mean? Where he stops, like he's dragging it with one foot, looking up, and then always tends to pass it back rather than drive at the defender, duppy them, whipping across. Do you know what I mean? And it's just frustrating because I know Rashford's that type of guy that could potentially do that, but we don't see that enough from him. And then Elanga hasn't got the skill set to do it, even though he's fast and he never really gets past the first man, like you said. So I feel like Anthony is definitely needed. Gakpo, I haven't watched a lot of Gakpo, but in my opinion, I feel like we need probably both of them.
You know what? I feel like if Ronaldo leaves, we should get both of them. And sometimes where you like transform a player into a striker, I'll just play Gakpo more up front because I think out of the two, they're both wingers. But as we've seen with Gakpo, he's a more natural finisher.
Yeah. And you know what? We suffer. I mean, you're right. And I feel like hopefully, because you know what? With Ronaldo being on the bench, he looks very calm. You know what I mean? His motions were kind of like subdued. And it gave me that feeling where he's already made up his mind anyway. Like, why is he crying to be playing for Manchester United when he's trying to scream and, what he wants out? And you heard it from the fans.
I think he's a professional.
Mixed reaction.
You know what? I feel like it's because of the club. It's because he's got so much love for the club. I don't think he will cause any issues. But it is very weird. Like, he's always saying fitness. Like, it's been a couple of games. Ronaldo should be starting. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And you know what? We've been hearing some stories about Napoli and about him going there, potentially a swap deal or whatever it is, money on top for their striker Osimhen. So we'll see, you know what I mean? Like, there's a few days left in the transfer window, 4 or 5 days.
We've got 4-5 days, isn't it? Thursday.
Something like that, and then we'll see what will happen. But for me, he just looked like very much subdued, like he knows that he's leaving. But I don't.
When someone is just left, like. He's physically there, but mentally somewhere else.
He's mentally checked out. And it was surprising. I heard Manchester United fans booing Ronaldo when he came on the pitch. You know what I mean? Some fans then started chanting his name. It was a mixed bag in that crowd. So it just goes to show that no matter who you are, there's no player above the club with some of these fans. You know what I mean? So,
but you know what? Man United can't complain because Ronaldo is in the same position Anthony is in. He's kind of made it clear that he wants to leave. And you've got to let him go. But I think what the problem is that I don't think no one wants to take the risk on him because of his age as well. His salary is just too much. So I think if he goes, it will actually maybe open the door and like for Ten Hag just to look after the team without any worries. You know what I mean? Expectations. So
I do feel like, and I don't know if we are going to get 2 strikers, but like Gakpo or Anthony, but I do feel like, because even with Martial, look, we've played 4 games now, right? He's been injured. He's been injured twice already. Do you know what I mean? And it's not it's not. It doesn't fill you with any confidence.
These are the type of games we need him in that he'll do well with.
Do you know what I mean? He's the one. He's the glue. He's the link-up person. He's your Firmino. Firmino was heavily involved in Liverpool's 9-0. Martial, you saw when he came off the bench and how he slipped through Rashford for that goal. Like, he's that guy that he's got the quick feet. He draws. He holds up the ball. He can bring the wide men in, like, into the game. Do you know what I mean? And we really lack that. And if he's going to be injured every other week, look, we've got to be looking for other strikers. We even got to be thinking about, do you know what? Is it his time up? Because really and truly, this guy's on what, 250 a week. You know what I mean? And we've got to be making some of these hard decisions, no matter how good he is. You know what I mean? Bailly, we've sold him because of probably his injury proneness as well. So we've got to be thinking about that with
what's that guy's name? That winger, what's his name? That youngster, the 18-year-old.
From where? Garnacho.
He needs to be playing.
Of course.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I would give him a chance alongside Elanga right now onto your thing, because when I say you need someone, he would actually disrupt defenders. Like, he would actually come on and cause so much mayhem. And sometimes you need them players that will get the tackles or they'll draw the players in to free up. How many times have we seen players draw players in, free up other players?
100%. I mean? Look, Elanga, like I said, like if it's a physicality thing or whatever it is, Elanga keeps falling to the ground after the first challenge. Garnacho, bring him in.
It's a bit frustrating though, because he'll get into a good position, then he'll drop.
You know what I
mean? Even ones where he can continue running, he'll just drop and he won't get the foul, and then he'll be complaining. So I'm just like, but look, I think overall it was an okay. Like, we got the 3 points, but it's just so much difference between the Liverpool. Like, at least if you're gonna win, right, at least let there not be such a big difference. But there's so much big difference between the two.
And I think that, again, like I said, it was like Liverpool, they play with 2 centre-backs. They push they push literally everyone forward. High line, do you know what I mean? It was a counter-attacking game, and a lot of our games ain't going to be counter-attacking. So we've literally got to find a way how we can continue to get through these tough games. But just to round off though, because NK, I think his Wi-Fi is not Wi-Fi-ing at the minute. You get me? Wherever he's, I think Sam got in his phone or whatever it is. But look, we'll just round up with this. Who was your man of the match for today?
Look, usually we'll probably say like Bruno because he got the goal, but I didn't think he had an overall good game. I would just probably say, maybe I might even give it to Varane. You know, I think he was solid at the back. Both of them played well, but I think he was solid, communicated well. I know Bruno got the goal, but without the goal, his overall game wasn't the best. But maybe I'll personally probably give it to Varane.
Do you know what? It's not a far shot. I mean, I can see why. Like I said, Varane does his thing calmly, just purrs, gets through the game. Me, because I've lacked this so much in Manchester United's team, there's still the grit. Like, I'm gonna give it to Martinez again, bro. Martinez takes it again. All of his duels, he won 5 out of 5 or whatever duels. He won every single duel. You know what I mean? All of them.
Strong, man. He's actually. They said statistically he's the shortest centre back, but because of the way he plays, you won't even know that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, his position is so good, so even when the ball comes over, he knows how to position himself where he won't get caught lacking with the ball in the air.
He stands tall.
He's such a good player. Like, in the beginning, obviously he had that difficult game against Brentford, but I like the fact that he's just turned up since then.
Do you know what? Back in the days, people compared him with Rojo, right? Because of his aggressiveness being South American. Easy comparison, left-footed. But what I don't get with Martinez is that feeling of he's going to pick up like a red. You know what I mean? It's controlled, like I said before. Like, it's controlled. You don't see him getting many yellows. Do you know what I mean? You don't see him. Like,
and even when he makes a foul, he knows how to foul.
He knows how to foul. You see Scott McTominay picking up yellows. It's like he's picked up in one in every game. Fred comes on straight away, gets a yellow. Do you know what I mean? But Martinez can exercise that aggression, but do it in a precise, controlled way. You're not seeing him pick up bookings, and that is so good because we need that from both Malacia and Martinez not to be missing games through suspensions because of picking up bookings. So I'm very happy about that.
His timing's on point when it comes to tackling.
100%. So guys, you heard it from us. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, it's OT99_Banter Room. Instagram, TikTok at OT99 Banter Room, all one word. Twitter at 99 Banter. Like, comment, subscribe. leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts, man. Until then, Leicester, next game. Peace.